is your first time. So.
Oh, thank you. Okay, so thank you for having me today. I'm very excited to be here, and thank you for my family and my friends for coming to support me.
今天我很高兴能够来这里讲道啊，尤其是我的家里的人都来支持我。
So I've titled my sermon today, "The Compassionate Ministry of Jesus."
那么今天呢，就是说耶稣怜悯的事工。
Okay, so according to Google, which obviously knows everything, compassion is the sympathetic pity and concern for the suffering or misfortune of others.
那么这个在字典里面说这个怜悯呢的意思呢，就是说知道人家的困难，而且去帮他，这个就是字典的意思。
But the Bible, I feel, takes compassion and it takes this meaning, but it takes it a little step further. Being the meaning of compassion is to recognize the suffering of others, but then take action in order to help.
那么对不起，这刚才呢，就是说刚才字典里面呢，就说认识这个人有困难，但是在这个圣经里面呢，不单是你识别人家的困难，而且呢，你还会去做一点事来帮他。
So compassion, it's identifying suffering and acting upon fixing it. It seems pretty simple, pretty straightforward when we word it, but sometimes it's not so easy to act out in our everyday life.
那么怜悯呢，就是说识别还要行动啊。那么看起来很容易，但是在我们的生活上面、人生里面做出来是不是很容易？
Some people are lucky and they're naturally compassionate. My parents both are naturally compassionate, and so I grew up being able to see this weekly.
那么有的人呢，他可以对怜悯呢不一定有行动，但是呢，我的父母 ，that's an endorsement to parents， 真的，我的父母呢都是很有怜悯心，很会帮人家的。
But there's a difference in being naturally compassionate and choosing to be compassionate. You can see the homeless man at the train station and you can, as Google put it, you can feel pity and sympathy for him, but then you just continue with your day and you keep walking. You don't do anything about it.
那么怜悯呢，就是说呢，我们常常认识到怜悯，但是呢，就是说有的人呢，不单是认识，而且会去帮人。像有的人在火车站你看到啊，你会怜悯他，但是呢，你也不会做什么，所以呢，这个要去做这个事这个是很不容易的。
The real step is when you actually choose to be compassionate. You actually choose to act out the biblical definition of compassion. You see the homeless person at the train station, you see that they're cold or they're hungry, and you choose to give them your coat. You choose to take time out of your day and actually help them.
那么这就是说，在火车站你看到一个人需要帮忙，你怜悯他那么你要决定要做一点事来怜悯他，这个是不是很容易的？
My dad and I actually saw an example of just a random lady who decided to be compassionate one day. Last month we were doing the coastal walk along Bondi and Bronte Beach.
那么我跟我父亲呢也经历过这样，我们上周呢，我们在那个那个海滩旁边，邦达那个海滩旁边呢走路的时候。
And it was a perfect day. The weather was great. It was cold, but the sun was out, and so we thought in the morning oh yeah, we'll do the walk. But in the last 30 minutes of our walk, it started to rain.
那么虽然那一天呢，虽然是有点冷，但是呢天气还是很好，所以我们决定去这个海边去走路。但是在那里走30分钟以后呢，开始下雨了。
My dad and I were fine. We just put our hoods on and we just kept walking, determined to finish the walk and just get into the car where it would be dry and warm. But in front of us there was a grandma and her daughter had a baby in a front pouch, and all she had to keep the baby dry was just a little raincoat to cover its head.
那么我们真正刚刚走了下雨呢，我们戴帽子什么我们都准备好的，但是我们要在去车子里面回家的时候呢，我们看到一个两个女的一个那个年轻的呢，还有个孩子，他们没有带雨衣，只有一小小的雨衣来盖住他那个小孩子。
Now, just behind them, walking to the right, was this other lady who was walking with an umbrella.
那么在他的旁边呢，还有另外一个女的呢，是有拿了一把伞。
Now, if the lady was just compassionate and she was just naturally compassionate, she would see the trio and she would think to herself, oh, they're getting wet, they have a baby, that really sucks. But she would have just kept walking and wouldn't do anything about it.
那么有的人呢，看到这样的情况呢，他也没有办法呢，就会也是会一直走，没有做什么事。
But the lady decided to be compassionate, and we watched her as she actually quickly walked up to the couple and she tapped the mum on the shoulder and she was like, oh, here, take my umbrella, you guys need it more than I, please take it from me.
那么他呢，就是走到那里了，他就把那个伞给他那个妈妈就跟他说呢，你需要这个伞比我需要的更多，就给他了。
But the mum refused. She was like, oh, no, it's okay. But the lady kept insisting. She was like, no, here, please take it. You have a baby. I don't want the baby to get sick. Please take my umbrella.
那么他们推让的大家都很客气。然后最后呢，他那个女的就说你那个小孩子我不要让小孩子病了，所以呢，你还是拿这个伞吧。
And then the lady, she still didn't accept it, but it actually turns out as they were having this conversation, the grandma actually looked in her bag and she actually realized that she had had an umbrella in her bag the entire time. So she actually pulled that out, and so both people had an umbrella.
那么他们在推让的时候呢，那个妈妈发现在她袋里面已经带了一个伞的。
But I loved watching this situation take place because it's not every day that we get to see people showing compassion for another, and so it was just really sweet to see.
这个对我来很感动了，不是每一天你在路上都可以看着这种情况的。
Okay, so now we're going to look at some places in the Bible where it talks about compassion. So if you have your Bibles, I encourage you to turn to Luke 15, verse 11.
那么我们在圣经里面也有讲到很多这些就是人很有怜悯心的例子我们想大家翻开你的圣经，在路加15章11节开始。
And we've heard this story a lot today in the children's story and so forth, but I'm just going to read it for you quickly again.
那么今天呢，在儿童故事的时候，我也讲过这个不同的情况我今天在这里念。要把这一段圣经念给大家听。
Jesus continued, there was a man who had 2 sons. The younger one said to his father, Father, give me my share of the estate. So he divided his property between them. Now not long after that, the younger son got together all he had, set off for a distant country, and there squandered his wealth in wild living. After he had spent everything, there was a severe famine in the whole country, and he began to be in need. So he went and hired himself out to a citizen of that country, who sent him to the field to feed pigs. He longed to fill his stomach with the pods that the pigs were eating, but no one gave him anything. When he came to his senses, he said, How many of my father's hired servants have food to spare, and here I am starving to death? I will set out and go back to my father and say to him, Father, I have sinned against heaven and against you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son. Make me like one of your hired servants. So he got up and went to his father. But while he was still a long way off, his father saw him and was filled with compassion for him. And he ran to his son, threw his arms around him, and kissed him. The son said to him, Father, I have sinned against heaven and against you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son. But the father said to his servant, Quick, bring the best robe and put it on him. Put a ring on his finger and sandals on his feet. Bring the fattened calf and kill it. Let's have a feast and celebrate. For this son of mine was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found. So they began to celebrate.
那么这个大家都知道是一个浪子回头的这个故事。因为时间的缘故，我不全部念。你们也应该知道，浪子回头就是说那个小儿子要把他的财产先拿去花掉。结果他都浪费掉了，就没钱了，吃猪，他喂猪，肚子饿的时候吃猪吃的东西那么所以结果他们就回来他爸爸那里他父亲在那里等了很久要看他的儿子盼他的儿子回来，结果他的儿子回来，儿子说我是 我对不起你啊，我现在要回来，我就帮你打工吧啊。但是父亲说不会，我的儿子回来了，要开一个宴会啊，杀肥牛，大家来吃。那么这个故事呢，就等于上帝啊对我们的故事是一样的。
So we all know this story, the story of the prodigal son. It's a classic example when we talk about compassion, a father showing compassion to his son.
那么这个怜悯的心呢，就是在这个故事里面呢，很典型的告诉我们。
Verse 14 clearly states the suffering. After he had spent everything, there was a severe famine in the whole country, and he began to be in need. Followed by verse 20 stating the compassion. His father saw him and was filled with compassion for him. He ran to his son, threw his arms around him, and kissed him.
那么第14节他说，他花尽了一切所有的，那个地方又遇到严重的饥荒，就穷困起来。在20节他就说，于是他起来往父亲的家里面去啊。他在那边远处，他父亲看到了他，就动了慈心，跑过去抱着他，连连与他亲嘴。
Okay, so I'm now going to get you just to flip over a page or swipe down to chapter 17, verse 11.
那么我现在呢，要再下去呢，就是要到路加17章，也是11节开始。
Now on his way to Jerusalem, Jesus traveled along the border between Samaria and Galilee. As he was going into a village, 10 men who had leprosy met him. They stood at a distance and called out in a loud voice, Jesus, Master, have pity on us. When he saw them, he said, Go show yourselves to the priests. And as they went, they were cleansed. One of them, when he saw he was healed, came back, praising God in a loud voice. He threw himself at Jesus' feet and thanked him. He was a Samaritan. Jesus asked, Were not all 10 cleansed? Where are the other 9? Has no one returned to give praise to God except this foreigner? Then he said to him, Rise and go. Your faith has made you well.
这里呢，就是讲那个耶稣啊，来医治10个大麻风的人。耶稣到耶路撒冷，在经过撒玛利亚的时候呢，就经过一个村子里面，有10个长大麻风的迎面来。那么他们就说举手高呼说：“夫子啊，可怜我们，来医治我们。”耶稣看见他们，就对他们说：“你们把身体给祭司查看。”他们去的时候就洁净了。内中有一个自己已经好了，就回来大声荣耀归神，又复活在那耶稣的面前感谢他。这个人是一个撒玛利亚人。耶稣说：“洁净的不是10个人吗？怎么只有其他9个人呢？除了这个外族人，再没有人来回归神，归荣耀给神吗？”那人就对那个人说：“起来吧，你的信救了你。”
So this is also another well-known story, but we usually use this story when we're trying to talk about gratitude or thanksgiving. But personally, I really like to look at the compassion in this story.
那么一般我们讲这个故事的时候呢，是往往只是讲那个就是我们对上帝的感谢啊，10个人只有1个人来感谢，但是我觉得怜悯的心是对我来说是更重要。
So again, we have the suffering being the leprosy, and these individuals being shunned and turned away from their society and their community. And then we have the compassion of Jesus healing them, an act that literally changed their lives forever.
那么这个10个大麻风的人呢，当然是很痛苦的啊。那么也是在这个社会上面给人家老摒弃的，所以但是耶稣是起了怜悯的心，救了他们，就把他们的人生都改过来。
I love this story because Jesus was compassionate even though no one was thankful for it. No one showed their gratitude or their appreciation, but he still chose to heal these people. I mean, if it was me, I would be a little bit annoyed because if I do something for you, I'm going to want you to say thank you in return. But I love this story because Jesus did it regardless, and that just shows his selfless love that he has for us.
那么这里我觉得最重要的呢，就是说耶稣在这个时候，虽然他得不到人家来谢他，他还是起怜悯的心，一直在医治了这几个人。我觉得这个是一个 很典型上帝耶稣的怜悯。
So the list of stories in the Bible that talks about the Good Samaritan goes on and on. We have Luke 10, verse 33. But a Samaritan who was traveling came to where the injured man was, and when he saw him, he felt compassion for him.
那么在这个圣经里面有很多的故事啊，在路加第10章呢，就是讲关于一个撒玛利亚人走到路边来，看见那个人受伤，就动了慈心。
And we have Jesus as he goes through the towns and villages, teaching and healing. In Matthew 5:9, 35 to 38, where verse 36 states, where he saw the crowds, he had compassion on them, because they were harassed and helpless, like sheep without a shepherd.
那么在那个马太第9章第36节呢，这里说耶稣看见许多的人，就怜悯他们，因为他们困苦流离，如同羊没有牧人一样。
And we have Jesus healing the crowd right before feeding the 5,000. In Matthew 14, verse 14, when Jesus landed and saw a large crowd, he had compassion on them, and he healed their sick.
那么在马太14章第14节呢他喂了5000人以后，看到有一大群人他们就怜悯他们，并医治他们的病。
And then again, when he feeds them in Matthew 15, verse 32, I have compassion for these people. They have already been with me 3 days and have had nothing to eat. I do not want to send them away hungry, or they may collapse on the way.
那么在马太福音15章32节呢，他们就说那些人跟耶稣已经3天了，没有吃东西，所以呢，耶稣就起了慈悲的心，就喂他们，不让他们在途中可以崩溃晕倒。
And then we have so many more, but I won't read them all to you today.
那么我们可以看到很多的今天我们不是一一在读，但是呢，在圣经里面有很多这个耶稣起怜悯心的这个故事。
I don't mean to be overloading you with Bible verses and Bible stories, but the point that I'm trying to get across is that compassion wasn't just a once-off thing in the Bible. It wasn't something that Jesus did once a month, once a week. Jesus decided to wake up every day, and he showed compassion every single day. It was a natural, out-of-habit thing that he decided to do.
我不是想把所有的圣经给你，让你知道我是想让你知道耶稣在不是说1次2次，每一个月做1次，他是时时都很有怜悯的心。
The Bible tends to repeat things in the Bible often, and a pastor once told me that the more something is repeated in the Bible, the more emphasis Jesus is trying to place on that statement, and the more he is trying to get us to remember that and to learn that and to incorporate that into our everyday lives.
那么这里呢，圣经里面讲了很多这个我的牧师跟我说，圣经里面讲的越多的东西，就是越重要，越对我们的人生影响越大。我们应该学习圣经里面所说的话。
So, for example, the passage, do not be afraid, is actually in the Bible 365 times. So that's exactly one time for every day of the year.
Really?
Yeah.
他说呢，这个你不要惧怕这一句话在圣经里面讲了365次，所以呢，每一天都上帝会给你不要惧怕这句话。
And I love that because I know that I can wake up each day and I can read a new passage in the Bible where God is telling me not to be afraid. So I know that I can go throughout that day and I can not be worried or not be afraid, because who am I to be afraid when God has told me 365 times in the Bible that I don't need to be?
那么这句话呢，对我是很有意思的因为我每天起来我应该不怕这一天，因为圣经里面已经说了365天，每一天上帝都会叫我不要惧怕。
So hence why I believe compassion to be such an important lesson in the Bible for us to learn and to incorporate into our lives. Because in the majority of stories in the Bible, you will find compassion. Whether Jesus to the sick, a father to a son, or one human to another, compassion is always there.
那么怜悯在所有圣经里面的故事呢，都含有这个因素在里面啊。不管是父亲对儿子，或者是耶稣对病人，都有这样的怜悯的心。
The stability and unity of our world literally depends on compassion. And so if it is repeated in the Bible over and over, God must be telling us something about how we can learn to be Christ-like in our daily lives. So all we have to do is find the compassion in the Bible and then learn to live by it.
那么这个怜悯的心呢，在我们这个社会里面呢，是一个稳定的一个因素啊。假如我们没有这个话呢，我们的这个人生就没有这么好啊。所以呢，我们就现在应该呢要学习这个怜悯啊，为这个怜悯做事。
So since graduating in high school in 2016, I've been able to do a lot of traveling. It's a really big passion of mine, as well as helping people. So mission trips have always been one of my favorite things to do.
他真是很年轻啊，在2016年他中学毕业，他就很喜欢旅游。
I remember in 2012, when I was about 13 or 14, my older brother was able to go on his first ever mission trip with my dad. He did the International Children's Care big build to Thailand. Here are some photos.
那么在2013年大概是吧，他这个哥哥跟他的父母去where is that?
Thailand.
哦，他在泰国去做那个义工。
And I remember as he and my dad left for the airport, I should have been sad that they were going because I was going to miss them. But I remember just being so sad because I just wanted to go. And they left for the airport and I just sulked in my room because I couldn't go.
那么他呢去那时候他还小，所以呢他在机场送他们走的时候呢，他觉得心里很不痛快他觉得他应该跟他们一起去的。
Then as the years went by, I would sit in church and I would listen to story after story, testimony after testimony about people who had gone on these amazing international mission trips. And I would just sit there listening in awe because to me at the time, anyone who had gone overseas on an international mission trip was like a Christian celebrity.
那么我呢，就是长大的时候呢，我们常在教会里面听到很多那些，就是那些人去去那国际去其他的地方去传道去做那个义工我就觉得很好，我就想有一天我要能去就好。
And then fast forward 4 years, and I was on my first mission trip. I went to Vietnam with ADRA Connections.
那么我们长大了以后呢，几年前呢，我就去越南做这个义工。这些照片就是他在越南做的事。
And here's just a video of some of the cute children from Vietnam.
Really?
Yeah.
They're not playing soccer. 就是那么这些呢，就是在越南的小孩子那么他觉得这件事很有意义。
And I fell in love with it, and it's been hard to keep me home ever since. After this trip to Vietnam, a few weeks later, I went with Raw Impact to Cambodia for a mission trip. And then since then, I've only been home for a few months to save money for my next trip overseas.
那么他说他去了这个呢，他上了瘾了他结果又去辽国这些地方做。那么他现在在存钱How do you do that when you study? 他存钱，他在那里存钱去，希望能够去另外一个地方做这个义工。
But during traveling and volunteering, I've been able to see the world in a new set of eyes, and I've been able to grow and experience a lot of different things. So like if you had asked me to preach 2 years ago before I had traveled, I would never have done it.
那么我呢，在这些路程上面，我学到很多很多的事。那么对我的灵性的成长也很好假如你几年前要我在这里讲道，我是绝对不会的所以呢，现在我可以跟你说呢，这个也是一个原因让我在这里讲道。
I've been able to meet a lot of different people and experience a lot of different things, some good, some not so good. But everywhere I go, no matter what country I go to, the one thing that I always see is compassion. And it's always so amazing to see because wherever you go, compassion, you can always find it.
那么，但是呢，我去做这些事啊，不是完全都是100%好的，有好的有坏的，但是我每一次去，我都能够感触到有怜悯这个心，啊，这个是让我呢是最感谢的。
So I was trying to think of a story about one of my trips today to share you that did show compassion. And I thought of one, and it's kind of an odd story because at the time I didn't see the compassion in it, but now I do. And it is about my friend, and this is her. Her name is Georgia.
那么我今天呢要跟你讲关于这个 Georgia 的故事啊，我是要讲他在那里我察觉到那个怜悯的心，但是呢我当时没有觉得，现在回头看，我觉得啊，我要把这个故事跟你讲。
So Georgia is my age. She also went on the ADRA connections trip to Vietnam with me. It was also her first time overseas. And she is very much an animal-loving person. She won't eat meat at all. She won't eat any animal byproducts. She won't wear leather, or she won't use makeup that's tested on animals. She's very passionate about animal rights. If we see a dog on the side of the road, we have to stop for 5 to 10 minutes just so we can play with it.
那么他这个舅舅呢，是跟他差不多年纪，他是很爱动物的，所以呢，他不穿像这个他不会穿的啊，皮夹克他不会穿的。那么，假如在路边上看到一个狗呢，他一定要停下来几分钟啊，来这个看看这个狗啊。
Okay, and so it was after work one day, and we had been working all day, and it was humid, and it was hot, and it was sticky. And so we decided to go back to the hotel where we were staying just so we could relax after dinner. But there was a group of about 10 people who decided to go walk around, explore, check things out, see what it was like.
那么我们呢，就是在那个安哲的组织的这个去越南啊，做这个义工那一天呢很热，他们准备要回旅馆去休息一下啊。那么有大概10个人呢，他们决定去走走。
And so I decided to stay back because I had explored the province the day before, but the group had been gone for about 30 minutes when one of my friends who was on the trip sent me a text. And all that this text read was 4 words. And the 4 words were, Georgia brought a duck.
那么他们去走了之后呢，因为他有点不舒服，所以他在这里休息。大概30分钟以后呢，他有一个信息，这个信息呢只有4个字，就说 George 买了一个鸭啊，中国人可以要5个字。
Now keep in mind, we are in Vinh Long, which is the poorest province in Vietnam. So it's a lovely province, but everything is kind of dodgy, and so you can't exactly trust everything. The people are very lovely, but you can't exactly trust them completely. And so the last thing you're going to want to do in this province is to buy a living animal.
槟榔呢，这个地方呢是个小镇啊，不太富有啊。虽然这些人都很好，但是呢，我是不会在这里买东西，而且呢还买一个活的东西，像一个鸭子。
But when I read the text, I just shook my head because I wasn't even surprised, because out of all of my friends, Georgia would be the one to buy a living animal in the poorest province of a foreign country.
那么我呢，人家都觉得哎呀，怎么那么奇怪？我不觉得奇怪，因为我觉得Georgia啊，人家不会，他是肯定会买一个在那个地方买一个生的动物。
So what they told me had happened when they got back was they were walking and had walked past this store. And in this store, there was like a small fence made out of barbed wire. And in this fence were like 100 of tiny little ducklings just all in this confined space.
那么他们就回来的时候就跟我们说，是吧？就跟我说，他们走在路边的时候呢，看到有一个就是那个铁丝网的那个啊，里面呢很小的地方好像有几百个鸭子。
And so when Georgia saw this, of course, being the animal lover she is, her heart broke, and so you couldn't drag her away from these poor little ducklings.
那么这个 Georgia 看到这个情况呢，他真是没有办法离开，所以呢，他就买了一个鸭子。
But for the Vietnamese people, this was normal because they would sell the duck so that the others could raise it, so they could turn it into duck meat to eat with their families, or they could sell it in their restaurants. It was all just a business. It's how they made money. It was just how they did things.
那么但是对越南人来说呢，这个是很随便的，经常有这样事，他们买个鸭子回去斩掉了，然后就这个吃那个鸭子的肉，啊。但是当然，对于 Georgia 来说，他不会这样做。
But Georgia's heart melted with compassion for these ducklings. She wanted to buy them all, but she only brought one. I think it was for something like $3 in Australian.
那么他呢看到这些鸭子，他就起怜悯的心啊。那么当然他不能买全部的，所以呢，他就用大概3块钱澳币来买了一个鸭子。It's a fortune in Vietnam, you know.
And so then they go back to the hotel, and I walk down the stairs, and the first thing I see is this bright yellow blob in Georgia's arms. And so I walk up to Georgia, and she has tears in her eyes. And so I just hug her, but as I hug her, she starts to cry, and I hear her say, "Tori, I wanted to save them all."
那么他呢回来的时候呢，他第一次看到一个黄颜色的小鸭子在那里啊。那么他呢就大家互相拥抱，我看到他这个 Georgia 在哭，他说我要救他们全部的，但是我只能救一个。
Now of course at this point she was in a bit of a situation because of course she couldn't keep the duck, but she was too attached to it now, so she couldn't take it back to the store, so we had to try and find something to do with this duck. So there was this port nearby where we ended up walking to set it free.
那么这里呢，他的这个鸭子怎么办呢？啊，那么他又不能退回去的啊，所以呢，他们就在想办法啊，说我 next to the creek you walk.
Yeah, to a port.
那么他们呢就在那里想办法的时候呢，走过一个小溪。
But so Georgia, she goes down and she lets this duck off in the water at the port. But this poor duck isn't a very strong swimmer, so it's just kind of floating and just bobbing up and down. And so we just watch it as it just bobs up and down and just stays in the one spot.
那么这个小鸭子呢，不是很强壮，所以呢，它在那个水里面也不会游啊。那么就在跟着那个水上下的。
And then all of a sudden, just the duck's luck, there was a jet ski that decided to drive past. And so the jet ski then made waves. And to us, the waves are small. But to this poor tiny duck, these waves were like tidal waves.
那么那个时候呢，刚好呢有一个这个水上的脚踏车走过，那么这有点浪啊。这个浪虽然对人不是很大，但是对那个小鸭子是不得了的。
And so then we watch as this duck then starts freaking out, and it's flapping its wings, and it's squawking, and it's crying, and it looks like it's going to drown. And then Georgia, of course, starts freaking out, and so she's stressed out, and she doesn't know what to do. And so eventually she goes in and she saves the duck once again.
那么那个鸭子呢，开始呢，因为这个浪对它很大，它也不知道怎么办啊，就是可能就会沉死的。那么当然 ，George 看到这个情况了，他又下去把那个鸭子救上来。
So now we're in a bigger mess of a situation because we have a wet, distressed duckling and we have a wet, distressed Georgia and no idea what to do with this duck.
那么这里呢，现在呢，这个问题呢更加严重了啊，因为这个鸭子呢就是湿的，而且呢很累了。那么这个 Georgia 也是浑身都是水的。
Georgia wanted so badly to save this poor duckling from its awful fate, but she didn't know what to do, and all her attempts to be compassionate did fail. And unfortunately, this story doesn't have a happy ending. She actually had to take it back to the owner, who was very confused at the wet duck. And so now today, this duck, unfortunately, probably is no longer a duck.
那么他这实在的没有办法啊。最后，他还是只有把那个鸭子退回去这个主人啊。但是那个主人也觉得奇怪，你这个买了怎么还退回来呢啊？那么所以呢，就说这个故事啊，这个结果不是很美好，因为你也知道了，这个鸭子呢， 今天来说呢，已经不是鸭子了啊，已经是人家做肥料了。
But the reason I shared that story with you is that I don't want you guys to think that you have to heal a guy with leprosy or save someone dying on the side of the road, find the cure of cancer, or adopt an animal in a foreign country. I actually recommend you don't do that one. But you don't have to do all these amazing things to show compassion in your everyday life.
那么怜悯的心在我们每一个人的生活中呢，你不一定要去医治麻风的人或者做那些惊天动地的事啊，你只要什么有怜悯的心啊。但是呢，当然我也不希望你每一次去其他地方都买一个动物回来啊，是吧？但是这个怜悯的心是在你人生里面都会应该常常都有的。
Being compassionate and replicating compassion in your daily life, just as Jesus did in his ministry, doesn't have to be that extreme.
那么当然了，不是说每一个人都能要在你生活人生里面有怜悯的心，做惊天动地的事。
Some examples could be helping out at soup kitchens and helping to feed the disadvantaged. Adra actually does this with Red Fern Church on a Monday night, if that's something you would like to get into.
I think it's now in Surrey Hills.
Is it?
Yeah, it's all right. 这个他说呢，有很多事可以做的，好像我们现在这个安哲在那个 Reference 这个附近那里啊，有一个专门是为那些土著人的一个地方，你也可以去做义工。I have a boy here doing that.
Cool. Or you could rescue a puppy from the RSPCA, and I'm sure your children would love that too.
或者呢，你可以去在我们就是 RSPCA 是中国这不知道叫什么动物，这个爱护动物的那个组织里面，你可以去领养一个狗，我相信你的小孩会很喜欢。
Or even just helping your kids understand the math problems that they just can't seem to get.
I thought that was my job. 或者呢，你这个孩子有一个数学不会做，你可以去教他，你不能教他，你来问我。
Or offering to step up within your church for children's ministry, men's or women's ministries, or even starting community involvement within your church.
那么在我们教会里面有很多的机会啊，是可以表现你这个怜悯的心的。
The list of everyday things that you can do to show compassion and incorporate a little bit more of Jesus into your life is endless.
那么在我们人生里面呢，把耶稣这个怜悯的心在我们的生活里面反映出来呢，这个也是一个很重要的事。
So my challenge to you today is I want you after church or sometime this afternoon to write yourself a list of all the things you can do to be compassionate in your everyday life. They just have to be simple things. And then next week, I want you to pick just one of those things and to try and actually act on being compassionate and incorporating that into your life.
那么我今天要挑战各位啊，在下午的时候呢，你可以不单只有这个怜悯的心，你还会去做一些怜悯的心。We're going to thank the police this afternoon.
That's good. Because you don't show biblical compassion by just writing the list, but you show it by acting upon it.
那么这个怜悯的心呢，不单是在心里面有，或者是用一个写下来啊，是要用行动来做这个事。
God bless.
上帝祝福大家。Very good. Yeah, I was going to say you're better than someone else, but I better not.